Oh, Lisa's saying hello, everyone from the north of Devon. Ailey's saying good morning from West Cork. Actually, let's drop in the chats because we've got people from all over. I would love for you to drop in the chat. I love that you're already doing this is fabulous. Where is it you're joining from? Where are you saying good morning from? Or maybe we've got people in New Zealand and Australia. So it's 11 p.m. there. Yeah. Tracy, you're in Australia, yeah? Is that right? I didn't realize that you're joining from Australia. Amazing. I love that. Here in Spain, we have cold homes, and I'm warming my hands on the heater if you're wondering what I'm doing. Him saying good morning from the Costa del Sol. Yes, you're down the road from me. I love that. Hannah's from West Cumbria. Jay's is joining from saying good morning, beautiful souls from Nottinghamshire. Yes, Baylor's in Mayo in the west of Ireland, Quenny south of Spain. Oh, it's 40 degrees in Greenbushes, Australia. Do you like the heat? I love the heat. I'm one of those weirdos. Somebody's saying hi Aussies, currently on Costa del Sol. Yes, you've moved over to this part of the world. And we've got more people joining. Oh, Sandra, you're in Estebona. Beautiful. So again, up the road. We've got new people joining. Welcome those who are coming in. Welcome to the party. So everyone's just sharing the chat where you're joining from. So we've got quite a lot from the UK and Ireland. We've got a few sprinkling from other continents. And we've got Sally coming in and Helena. Oh, you're in Galway. Beautiful. Hannah's in Nottinghamshire today, but usually Gloucestershire. Okay, now going from sharing where you're joining from, let's get into a deep question. And I'd like you to go deep with the answer to this one. Because as you know, those of you who are here for day one, we go deep. And we go deep straight away. We're not like, let's warm up and then go do, we go straight in. I would really love to hear. Oh, I've got the wrong notes up. Give me 1 second. See, this is one of the beauties, and I'd like to highlight this because it's a really good teaching point. This is one of the beauties of when we are super solid in self and the value of what we do. We can be faffing around with getting ourselves on Facebook on day one and be completely chill about it. Yeah, that's sort of that personal power, because when we know it's absolutely fine and it doesn't matter and it's okay and people don't mind, we transmit that and therefore people don't mind. People are like, oh yeah, cool. We get to have a normal, it's not like all this like pristine, super like pro, nothing ever going wrong, get things perfect all of the time. It's human, it's real, it's raw. Yeah. And when we're like really embodied in like, yeah, that's what people want. People want real, people want human, people want raw, and we're solid in self, then people, they're like, I'm on board with that. And that's what I want. Yeah. Because this is how I choose to run my business as a human. That, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be a beginner going live on Facebook and in Zoom at the same time. And it's okay to get it wrong. And people love the fact that I get it wrong, because then you're like, oh, then when I get it wrong, it's also okay. Yeah. I don't have to get it perfect and people will still love it. So yeah, teaching point. So the next teaching point is, I then can't find my notes for today. So let me look for them. Okay, yes. Dig deep with this. Really find the answer beneath the surface level answer for this one. Why are you here for this event? What is it, when we complete this event, what is it you want to take away? What's really important to you? Yes, Jays, I love this share. Yes, yes, yes. And this is so important. It allows real beingness and humanity. So work like this with my clients and workshops, etc. It changes the energy, being relaxed, open, and real. Yeah. Yes, as it's so easy to believe that we have to show up as this polished version. And then people feel that they have to, as our clients, have to show up as the polished version to get results. And so they don't get results because we can't always be polished. Yeah, so this is a huge part of getting results for our clients is being real. So they can go, oh, I get to be real and still heal and still be in shape, or still whatever things that you share with the world are, I can still get those results and be imperfect. Oh, what a relief. There's a good saying that men are socially conditioned to act confidently when they are at 60% understanding and preparedness. Women are conditioned for the same at 100%. Time to take that pressure off. Sally's saying, I'm in the school. However, the free events give me useful top up and extra insights and inspiration. I will be taking you to the shower soon. I love that we get to go to the shower with you, Sally. So not able to reply. So Sally is going to be one of the students who comes in on Thursday and shares. Yeah, she just signed up to, she didn't know she was going to do it. And then she was like, okay, I'm going in for my 3rd year in the school. So she's really got experience to be able to share what this work does for you. Yeah, so I'm excited for you to come in and share, Sally. So both of Sally and Quenny are here on the live today, and they will be with us on Thursday. And actually, as you're sharing the bits in there, you're writing what it is that you want to take away from being here in the event. And this, I invite you to do this not just to share with the group, to share with me, is for you. Yeah. Participation is key with these sorts of interactions. There's so much free stuff, free content out there, free workshops we can take, free masterclasses, and they're fabulous. We can learn so much. What is different with how we run these events is we want it to be interactive, a conversation, so you have an experience. Because experience, and the more profound the experience, the more profound the change, and the more likely it will be impressed on subconscious and become a new part of your reality. So the more that we interact and you make it real and you put it from your head into words, and this is why I ask you to do homeworks, the more it will create that shift and that change for you. Yeah, and the more it will help you to understand, because we're going through some really profound concepts. It will be able to simplify it for you into tangible things that you can take away and apply. Someone's sound's just gone on. Okay, I trust Fela will be on that, so thank you, Fela. So big difference between what we do in free events and my paid spaces. And this is not just for those of you who are joining us for the first time and only taking the free stuff. This is also a teaching point for those of you who are in my paid spaces, because I know that quite a few of you are learning business through the example. I'm being the example, I'm showing you how to do the things, and you're picking up on a lot of the techniques, a lot of the skill set through observation. Yeah, and those of you who are taking the cert, we've got our session tomorrow, and we're going to be talking a lot about the difference between teaching, coaching, and mentoring, and really being able to differentiate between those three and how to use those three skills to get your clients the results they want. Okay, so in the free events, it is all teaching and teaching only. If there is any coaching, it's a very small amount. When I pose you a question, so maybe you put a question in the comments and I will pose you a question, or you say something, I'll pose you a couple of questions. So there's a bit of subtle coaching there, but we don't go deep. All of it's teaching. Yeah, because then it's about, do you then go away and apply what you're learning? Because this is where you get the results, ladies. You get the results through the application of what you're learning, not just through absorbing. It's application, action, and moving through fear, moving through resistance, moving through the terror barrier. Yeah, those of you who've done the Bob Proctor teaching with me, you will remember the terror barrier. Those who haven't, We offer that for free. It's another session you can do. Just reach out and we can get you access to that. Because it's our capacity to move through fear and release fear of fear itself that allows us to grow to levels we've never been at before. Yeah, so this is all about teaching. Then you can choose to take that away, apply and get the results, or you can say, Rachel, I now want to work with you. I want you to coach and mentor me through it. Yeah, and that's what we do in the paid spaces. So those of you who are taking this up, I'd like you to really observe and begin to notice the difference between teaching and coaching, teaching and mentoring. Yeah, and we'll talk about how to use those skills. Okay, let me come back to the comment. So we're going to do a little recap of day one. We went through a lot of powerful stuff, and then we'll talk about what we're doing today and why, so that you can really get the value from it. Where were we up to? Okay, Jay's. Oh, I'm not so polished. The glorious state of neurodiversity and disabled. Beautiful. And empowering people from that space is, wow, really incredible. Okay, wanting to get out of this void I'm in. Amazing. With every session with you, I get more and more into my true self when it comes to things. You open up possibilities that I didn't see before. You ignite my creative mind, and through my participation in the school, I want to take my clients and myself to a higher level so that I can make a good living and my clients feel even more empowered. That's beautiful, Kim. That's really beautiful. That's an amazing testimonial. I'll take a screenshot of that. Thank you. And this is actually a piece we'll be talking about today. I'll seed that idea now, which is consistent exposure, because this is really one of the things today is about problem awareness. So what is it, not what you think is getting in your way, what is actually getting in your way? Yeah, and consistent exposure to the thought forms of the people who are at that next level. This is a key piece in you normalizing your next level of success. Exposure to the ideas and the thought forms. Exposure, exposure, exposure. We'll go a bit deeper into that so it makes more sense a little bit later. Gwen is saying, yes, as Sally says, the free events always provide extra insights, others' experiences, yes. And it's always so interesting. I love that I keep learning in these events. Lots of gold dust and inspiration. Why am I here? I am to create something special across the Midlands. Beautiful. Xante's coming here for the real talk and reminders. Clarity of the vision, confidence to make the choices moving forwards. Oh, Lisa, you're ready for a kick up the bum. I love that. To get motivated again. Hannah, you were here for connection, to commit to the path of curiosity that's presented itself. Curiosity is one of my favorite words at the minute, so I love that you bring that. I want to take away the same sense of inspiration that I felt yesterday and tap into that further to see where it takes me next. Yes. What I want to take away, a clarity and a really deep and powerful commitment that will drive me through some self-doubt and a little uncertainty as to the how, clarity of the vision and to the how and the energy that I wish to bring into this project. Moving truly into queenship. Yes, to queenship. Because that's embodiment, yeah? The embodiment of confidence to the point of the frequency of queenship. It's a feeling, it's an experience, queenship. Yeah? That no matter the changes that arise in the path of life, we vibrate at the frequency of knowing that we're a queen. That is a beautiful embodiment. Okay, let's come back to the notes. So recap of yesterday. Yesterday was all about high frequency commitment to your path and to your dreams and desires. What I mean by high frequency commitment is the following. It is so easy for us to commit from fear of not having enough, of not being good enough, of scarcity. My invitation is that You really tap into committing from trust, from knowing, and from choosing your path. It's entirely different. And I know because I used to commit from fear. In my fitness journey, when I was still in my body dysmorphic phase, my commitment to my fitness path was from the fear of not having the body I wanted. What now at nearly 42 allows me to be in shape and have an incredible relationship with my body and food is now the commitment to things from a place of love and abundance and trust in myself and my body and my actions. Yeah, so in all areas, we're shifting into that. And we're acknowledging, remember the really powerful quote from yesterday from Carl Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. So today we're bringing up the unconscious elements of scarcity and lack of belief in ourselves. Today, I will serve as the mirror for you to see that. That is my role today. What does this mean? There may be things that bring stuff up for you. You might get triggered. Being triggered is not a bad thing. We're living in a moment in time when people like to use the phrase, you trigger me. Yeah. What happens when you say you trigger me is you're giving your power away to the other person to determine how you feel on the inside. Bring your power back to self if you find yourself going in that direction. Yeah. Power back to self. So when we can acknowledge that being triggered is a gift, what we see is, and sometimes people can be mean with how they trigger us, but when we are so solid in who we are, it literally does not matter, because them being mean doesn't affect us, because you know who you are, you value yourself, you love who you are, and you do not need the external world to tell you anything, because you create that from within. So when we're being triggered, it's beautiful because it highlights where we are not in our power. And it highlights where we're looking to external evidence for proof of something. And so when you're triggered, say, oh, thank you. And then allow yourself, my invitation is allow yourself to go within and say, what in me is allowing me to be triggered? What is the story I'm telling myself here? And so today, if that happens, might not, allow it to be the mirror back to self rather than, oh, you're triggering me. Yeah. Because I can be strong with the messages. And I'm doing this from a place of desire to see you thrive and shine and really go out into the world and help many, many people. Yeah. So day one was about high frequency commitment. And this was one that it was a message that came through but wasn't said directly. And this is long-term commitment and long-term vision. Because this is actually going into problem awareness here. Bringing the unconscious into the conscious. So many people will have a short-term commitment with their money goals and with their business goals without realizing it. Worrying about how much money you're making this month and what you're doing in this month, next month, and the month after, rather than what you're creating over 12, 24 months, 5 years, a lifetime. Because when we can commit to the long-term vision and to the long-term financial goals and what we're creating as stability long-term, it does not matter if 1, 3, 5 people say to you, I don't want to continue working with you. Or you have one thing that doesn't work in the strategy that you're applying. Or you realize that the retreat that you wanted to host doesn't have any sign-ups for it. When we're looking at long-term and creating that stability and happiness and safety in our nervous system, long-term, the little things along the way don't matter. Because this is the thing with the healing work. And I was in this place for a while, and we can be in this place for a while where it takes us a long time to heal trauma. And we spend, weeks and months clearing traumas. And there is an experience in that serves us. Once we've been through that process, it's then, do you really want to be spending long periods of time in the process, or do you want to speed it up? Because sometimes we become attached to being in the process. We become attached to the trauma because it's part of our image of who we are. That was me with anorexia. My self-image was being the skinniest in every room I walked into. And so for me to heal that, made a clear decision. Let me tell you some background stories so this really makes sense. A friend of mine said there was only one person in her life she knew who had a truly healthy relationship with food. And she invited me to reflect. And I did, and I thought about all of the people I knew. I was like, oh, wow, I don't know anybody with a truly healthy relationship with food. Damn. For me, that was a challenge. I was like, oh, I want to be that person. I want to be the unusual human being who not only do I then have such an incredibly healthy, balanced, no fear, pure trust relationship with food, to have gone from anorexia to that. I'm going to be that. She didn't realize she set me that challenge in that moment. And I decided I'm then going to embody that. So what it required was for me to release attachment to all of that part of self-image. I am this, I am that. The fear that I had to shift through, the possibility of what would happen if I let go of those habits. What can happen? Weight going up and down, and holding myself through that. So how do we then translate that into success? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Yeah. So if somebody who's gone from pretty severe anorexia to being one of the people every room I walk into with the healthiest relationship with food, yeah, you can also do that with money. You can also do that with success. You can also do that with self-confidence. And we're going to be talking about that. Do we have sexy admin bits before we continue? Let's have a look. So prize draw, just a reminder, the all-in, part of it is please do the homeworks. I have had some amazing homeworks coming through. I'm really looking forward to reading those next week. Yeah, this is the beauty of us having Monday off, partly because I'm teaching the cert, and then also that's the day I will be reading the homeworks. It gives you space and time to do the homeworks and to let the messages land of all of the things we're going through. And I've had some of you posting on, the Facebook group post, sending me emails. Fantastic. So we've got the two prize draws. There's all in. So either coming for all of the lives, or if you're watching the replay, commenting so I know that you're doing it. And then doing the one homework. It's one homework. And it's answering those 3 questions that we covered yesterday. If you're not sure what they are, just pop that in the chat and we'll make sure that you get them, or reach out to Finger or myself directly. And I think that's it. Okay. Let me just check the chat. Co-regulating with powerful women, developing consistency in positive role models and positive mindsets. Beautiful. Great about long term. So many have said, why not do it now? But I want to establish something that is sustainable. Yes. And that takes time. As it's so easy for us to rush to the things that get us immediate results. Let's talk about this. A really easy way to look at this is in fitness. People who do an extreme diet to lose weight for the summer, to get their bikini on and go to the beach, versus people who choose to build healthy habits that are consistent over time. Big, big difference. Yeah. And it's the same with our businesses. It's the same with, because what we're talking about, like I said yesterday, I'm not setting you up for mediocre results. What I'm interested in is you be way above average. you be the leader for others in your industry. They look at you and go, whoa, seriously, you can make that money and impact lives and not work insane hours. Oh, so I can also do that. Whoa. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. So yes, strategy is incredible, but the embodiment comes before the strategy. Yeah, embodiment comes before strategy. So like Jays was saying, queenship. So today our main subject is this, understanding embodiment. I've got a few stories. Which ones should we start with? Let me have a look. Okay, yeah, let me share this one with you. This one's really beautiful. So last month, December, it was looking like it was going to be one of my lowest cash months in the last 2 years. And I mean, bear in mind, these last 2 years, each month cash. So we've got cash and we've got sales. Cash is the money that comes into your account and sales is what you've sold. Yeah, so maybe you've got monthly payments coming in. So what was coming through cash the last 2 years has been 4 to 7 times what I'd ever made in the past. Yeah, so 7 times being like, what? But it was around 4 or 5 times what I was making before. December was looking at it like it was going to be, in inverted commas, only double what I used to make. And there was zero evidence that that was going to change before the end of the month. And there was literally the feeling in my nervous system, because this is what the embodiment of success and trust and belief in self is. There was zero feeling in my nervous system of stress around those numbers. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Whether I make more or that is the amount, all is good. Because I embody success and I assume success. And because of this and moving from that place, from no force, really not doing a huge amount, December then turned into my highest cash and highest sales month in my life ever. No force, no working extra hours. So this is the power of embodiment, because it wasn't to do with the strategy. It wasn't to do with doing anything really insanely different. Like I said yesterday, I'm not talking about teaching you a formula of multi-level marketing or cryptocurrency sales to make your money. It's about understanding the frequency in which you move, which opens you up to seeing things differently and therefore getting different results. The same with the sign-ups for this event. I was super chill. I just knew. I knew lots of people were going to sign up. And because I moved from there, lots of people sign up. And this, talking about manifestation in this way, it makes sense on a mental level until we begin to apply it, and then you find it makes sense on a place of inner knowing. So those of you who've already applied a little bit of embodiment and manifestation, this will be making sense on that level. For those of you who've not yet seen those shifts and those results, it will start landing on a mental level. So just allow it to land where it's ready to land. And this is where consistency and long-term makes the difference. Because then you'll start to see the results and it will make sense and it feeds back into that loop of becoming a conscious manifestor. Pop in the chat if you need me to or want me to explain things again. Yeah, because sometimes I go into complex analogies and I want this to really land and really make sense for you. Okay. So for those of you who we've just met, I know there's lots of you here, that's the case. You may see me now as somebody who's doing really well in my business, owning my space, super confident, because you won't have seen where I was at 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, when quarantine hit, so when we all went into quarantine, I had a successful business. Things were going really well. I was making like double the average of people in my industry, in my area at that moment. And then we went into quarantine and everything disintegrated. My source of income completely froze. Lots of my clients moved away from Spain, and my business literally disintegrated. It was a really moment, a real call to look at things. And I spent 4 days in intense anxiety because the studios that had owed me money suddenly couldn't pay me, and there were 2 months of backlog. And so I was in a place where not only could I not pay my rent and my bills, I couldn't buy food to put on the table. I'd been working long hours, really hard. Yeah, I know what it is to work hard. I was working long hours and I was working hard, making good money, but I was only making money when I was working. The moment I stopped working, nothing came in. Elisa's asking what you're doing. Thank you for that question. So I was teaching yoga. I had up to about 18 hours of classes a week. I was teaching personal training, boot camp, massage, healing sessions, coaching sessions within all of those formats. Yeah. So I had a lot of skills that I was working with. I was working a lot of hours, group sessions and one-on-one. It wasn't scalable. And the minute I stopped working, no money was coming in. My nervous system was all over the place, as you can imagine. So I allowed myself 4 days of anxiety because I needed to have that experience. I needed to express it. Day 5, I woke up and I said, now I choose to take radical responsibility for the fact that I created this situation. I am not the victim of the fact that this has happened to me. And everything that tells me the story of it's hard as a yoga teacher to make money, business as a personal trainer isn't scalable, all of those things that were there, I chose to take radical responsibility for. And I said, well, if I could embody going from somebody who had body dysmorphia to a good relationship with my body, because I used to embody depression, I used to embody body dysmorphia, I used to embody low self-confidence. If I could do that to then shift to embodying the opposite, I can then do that with my finances and I can do it with my business. So that's when the journey began of taking responsibility for everything I was thinking, feeling, and doing that was creating my current situation. And then having to shift all of those things. For me, it was like a whole rebirthing because everything had to drop away and be rebuilt. It was literally the phoenix being birthed from the ashes. I disintegrated everything that I was doing and built everything from zero. And from then to now, everything's changed. And here are the pieces. What I'm going to be sharing with you are the pieces. So for you, maybe the shift is literally tweaks and refinements in what you're already doing. For some of you, it will be dismantling things that you're doing and then building them up in a different way. So it's scalable and sustainable. Yeah. And the frequency and the mindset and the embodiment is what is going to allow you to shift through that with power and come out the other side at that next level of success. For me, it was disintegrating everything and rebuilding it all. So it was a big thing. And here are the pieces that allowed for it. Because as you can see, it was fast. Because 2 years ago, which was 2 years into it, I was already quadrupling my income and building something that was scalable and it just keeps getting bigger and better. And I can see the vision of, whoa, big things because of how I've set myself up. Yeah. Let me come to the chat and then I'll continue with the story. Thank you for sharing the questions, Layla. Oh, lovely. I really like what you said about triggers. When you were starting out, how did you build and maintain consistency in the empowered mindset when you're at an energy depleted point? For example, I get really energy depleted when I'm menstruating, and it can be hard to focus on the positive. Okay, let's start with this first. I would never give this event when menstruating. I'm currently ovulating. because of the level of energy I want to show up in and the level of frequency I want to be giving. Yeah, so I set up my business in cycle with my cycle. I'm now coming towards perimenopause, so I'll have to begin to adapt to that as well. Yeah, so setting up your business to work for your cycle. Yeah, this is a big thing that I like to lead by and to teach by, because when we do set up a business in this way, then we can actually flow, because when we're menstruating, beautiful things can be birthed in that time. Really incredible things can be birthed when we're doing the right things at the right time of our cycles. And yes, actually your question leads us into, let's bring problem awareness to the first thing. When it came to my healing journey with my relationship and myself and my body, I did not do any of it alone. Yes, I did inner work within myself on my own, but I went to lots of courses, workshops, coaches, guides, yeah, healing ceremonies, women's circles, primal dance, ecstatic dance, cacao ceremonies, all of those things, again and again and again and again. I was held, I was supported, I was guided by men and women who embodied what I wanted to embody myself. Because, that just makes logical sense, right? There's the bit that you do on your own in between, and then there's the bit where you allow yourself to be held. And I was super consistent with that. And that's what has allowed me to embody the level of confidence that I now have. Because as I was bringing the unconscious traumas to conscious mind, why do that alone? There's like, being held in those moments. Then when it came to my business, I suddenly realized after quarantine, I've been trying to do this all on my own. I've been trying to understand wealth without being guided by people who are already wealthy, by people who have gone from challenges to being super successful. Same with business. I was trying to do it all on my own. Taking like business courses, yes, but not being held. I hadn't allowed myself to be held. And the huge shift happened when I then chose not to be held for a workshop, a free event, a retreat. I then invested for a minimum of a year, and I'm now coming up to my 3rd year, of being held long term. And this is now something I choose for myself throughout my career, to be held as I step into each new level. Because each new level means that we're a beginner as we start. And shit will come up for you. When you are stepping into your next level of wealth, stuff is going to come up. Full stop. Your beliefs, worthiness, like your paradigms around money are going to come up. Money's bad, money's wrong, rich people are evil, the political systems. If I make money, that makes me a bad person. I don't want to be a bad person. Lots of stuff comes up around money as we're stepping into our next level of wealth. People don't have the money. I'm a bad person if I charge them more. When you charge people more money, you're actually doing them a service. You are helping them by charging them more money. When you're charging them too little, you're taking the power away of them investing at that level emotionally in what it is they want. And so when you're trying to be as affordable as possible, that's the level of energetic commitment of the people that come through. You stretch them financially, you stretch them emotionally, they get the result. Yeah. And so being exposed over time to the thought forms of people of the confidence and wealth and business success that I desired for myself is what has allowed me to get there fast and easily. Because in the road, all of those obstacles that I did not know how to maneuver, I had somebody who'd already done it. I'd be like, put my hand up and be like, excuse me, miss, or excuse me, sir, this is happening. What do I do? bam, they give me an answer, bam, I move through the obstacle. And the obstacles are fast because often the insights into how to move through the obstacle is something you cannot know until you've gone through the obstacle. And you need somebody who's on the other side, because they've got the signpost and they're going like this. I'm over here. You can't see it because you've not gone through it yet. And so often when it comes to a level of wealth you don't know yet, or a level of success, or a strategy in business that you don't know, trying to do it on your own is like trying to, what was Wayne Dyer's story? That there was a guy who'd lost his keys, he'd lost his car keys, and he'd lost them outside his house. And his neighbor came around and they went inside and they were looking for the keys together, and they'd spent ages looking for the keys. And his neighbor then turned to him and said, "Where did you lose your keys?" And he said, "Oh, I lost them outside." He's like, "Why are we indoors?" He's like, "Well, because the light's on here and we can see." So, but they're out, it's outside. We've got to look outside. And this is what we're often doing, is we're looking in the places where we know. You know what you know, and so you keep looking around the places that you know for answers that aren't there. They're outside. They're outside what you currently know. And so the level of growth that we can experience by only moving in the circles that are known to us will be slow and arduous. And I say this from experience myself. We're kind of taking little steps. If what you want is to fly, yeah, flying can be scary. Imagine you're flying for the first time. You're looking down, you're like, "Oh, I'm flying, it's scary." But if you've got an instructor by you who's flying by, you go, "Yeah, don't worry, just bat your wings a little bit more." Then you can watch them. Oh, they're batting their wings like this. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do it a little bit more like that. They give me confidence. They're there by my side. If I need to ask, they're there for help. So you can fly rather than taking those steps. Yeah. I don't know if that analogy landed. It's just one that came in that moment. Okay, so that all came from one of the comments, right? Let's come back to the comments. This is the beauty of embodiment of what we teach. We do not need to prepare because we have already done the things and we speak from wisdom. Yeah, so this is another thing for those of you in the cert. The more that we embody the things, the more that we lead as a leader. And it's super easy to speak because we're speaking from that knowing. So we can really speak to the blind spots in people so that they can see what they're not able to see yet. Where are we up to? So yeah, coming back to your question, Evergreen, how do you maintain the consistency? I have my coach in my ear every day, every single day. Even as somebody who's grown a lot, I have them in my ear every day because it's the consistent exposure to the way of thinking of the person who's ahead of me. And I really listen. I listen to everything. The words, how she says it. I can imagine her body as she's saying it. The picture she paints of her life and how she moves through life. And I've got multiple coaches. And so I'm really attuning and I'm listening and I'm observing. And then obviously it's your own experience. But we can learn so much through the examples of others. Yeah. And our capacity to tap into our 5 senses as we're being guided by someone who's at that next level. This will really speed things up for you. Okay, I did the same thing at COVID with the story from before, yeah, of having to let go of a lot of things. I was a music teacher and I ditched everything and moved continents. Amazing. So where did you move from and to? Currently working, if you want to share that, obviously, currently working on getting undergrads to help me be scalable. Amazing. This is so powerful. I call this the butterfly experience, from the caterpillar to cocoon, dissolving all within and around, then breaking through as a transformed creature, the butterfly or moth. Yeah, beautiful analogy. That was awesome. Immersion to my future consistently sounds like. Oh, okay, you moved from the States to Ireland. Amazing. Yes, Penelope. Immersion in the thought forms and the frequency of people who embody what you want to embody. So this is why I'm super clear with who I speak to. You remember in day one yesterday, I was saying you're probably an empath. You've probably done some healing work already, or probably quite a lot of it. You're probably driven by a desire for impact and purpose. I'm very clear with the people that I call in, yeah, because of the sort of things that I teach, but also because of the people that I'm here to lead. Yeah. So when we talk about immersion in the future, it's immersing yourself in the thought forms and frequency. So this is super important when we go into a business training. What is the frequency of the people that are teaching you? So I've taken lots of business trainings and I have consistently chosen people who have a frequency of abundance and desire for impact and helping others. Because it is so easy to be taught business strategy from people who are only interested in self, in getting up and getting above and doing well. And it doesn't matter who is impacted along my journey as long as I'm successful. And when we're in that environment, what it does is it makes us believe that the only way to be successful is doing things the way that they do it. So it's super important, and this is another part of problem awareness, that when you're learning, and my invitation, the biggest takeaway from today is business is fascinating. Business, learning how to build a scalable, sustainable business is so much fun. So much fun. Learning how to market yourself from a place of truth and honesty, learning transformational sales, so just a conversation about selling something to someone changes their life. Just putting a post out there changes someone's life. All of that is so much fun. So much fun, because everything you're putting out there is high frequency, high frequency. So everything you do helps others. It's beautiful. It's a dance, it's music. Think of a symphony, lots of instruments playing together. So your marketing is one set of instruments. Your sales are another set of instruments. Your offers are another. Yeah, think of all of these musical instruments coming together to play this beautiful symphony. And when we learn business in an arena where it's about, humans who are interested in helping others, then those nuances and thought forms will really impact how you show up. So my invitation is, if you are not currently learning about mindset, frequency, and business strategy, and you want to get to your next level, that is your next step. That is the next thing. Whatever form that may be in. So just allow that to land, rather than feeling you need to make a decision now, just opening yourself up to what that could look like for you, what feels expansive, what feels exciting. The end of today, I will share a little bit about what we do in the school for those of you who want to hear. You're like, I like the way you teach. I really like to work with you. You can see what that looks like. So the idea can begin to land. So you can sort of think, maybe that's something I want, or maybe that's something for my future. Yeah. The reason I share that now is the following. At the beginning, I chose from scarcity the first coach that I went for, because I was afraid to invest in the coach I really wanted, because she was considerably more pricey. I chose from scarcity. The first one, it was great. Yes, I did learn things. Actually, no, fun's not the word. I did learn things. I acknowledged after a period of being with her that I'd chosen from scarcity. And for some people that will happen. Some of you will hear what we do and you will say, I really like that, and the prices are high, so I'm going to go for the cheaper version. And maybe in 6 or 12 months, then you'll come back and go, actually, no, I'm ready for it now. And that's fine. Yeah, we're all ready when we're ready. And this is something that I invite you to also see with your clients. People are ready when they're ready. We're not trying to force them to be ready when they're not ready. We're there, we show up, we're consistent, we're honest, we're authentic, we're ourselves, we continue to do the inner work, we continue to lead ourselves and take self-responsibility. We trust, we focus on the long-term vision, we trust, we connect to something beyond self, whether you're connected to guides, God, the universe. And then the people who are ready for you will come. Whether it's today, in 6 months, 12 months, 6 years. Yeah, so keep showing up. Oh, I love this. Your abdomen literally relaxed when I said that I build my business to match my cycle. Yeah, which is something, whether it's to do with our cycles, for any of you who are currently in the void or burnout or exhaustion or anxiety, can you see that that experience is the best thing that could ever happen to you? Because it is highlighting with enough intensity that you will take it seriously what needs to change for that to no longer be a part of your reality. And so if you find that when you're bleeding, you're exhausted, and yet you're still giving the same level of intensity of holding space for others, that exhaustion is showing you it's time for that to change. Even though it's not easy, this is the thing, yeah? Those moments of change, when we shift the way we do things, we let go of clients, we up our prices, we stop doing certain workshops or courses or whatever they are, that change, it's not always easy. It takes courage. And so when the thing is hard and hard enough, the anxiety, the exhaustion, the burnout, whatever it might be, that actually propels us more. So can you see it as a good thing? Okay, keeping an eye on time. Wow, the time went really fast today. We're already at 11:55. Important things with, let's recap what we've gone over so far. Focusing on the long term. Whenever you find yourself getting lost in the short term, yeah, keep coming back to the long term. Being held long term. What does that look like for you? And being exposed to the people who have the way of being the embodiment of what you desire, so that you can learn purely by being in their presence. There is so much wisdom that people who embody have to share, just as you for your clients. Can you see that? Can you see that? What you currently embody, there are so many people ready to embody what you already do. And just by being in your energy field, because of the way that you think and you feel and you move and how you show up, that changes their life. Yeah. So what else has come through here? It's exposure, listening to other people's stories, listening to other human beings' stories. And purely because of time, let me go through my notes. There's maybe 1 or 2 more things I'd like to share with you for today. And then I'll share a little bit about what we do in the school. Then I'd love to see more homeworks. I'm excited for that. And then Tuesday, we will get into the hows. Can you drop in the chat if you're not sure what I mean by embodiment, or you would like me to go deeper with embodiment so it makes sense? Just pop that in the chat. Yeah. Because this is like a core piece to what we're covering. I'm actually going to read word for word this because it's really important to get this as it's on paper when I wrote it down. This was a channeled thing, so. Growth requires clear decisions and that you hold yourself whilst you are a beginner at the things you're doing and you get things wrong and you feel that you're fumbling, that you hold yourself. Yeah, bringing your awareness to this. Yes, I can repeat that. The next level that you're ready for of confidence, personal power, queenship, and wealth and impact. You're a beginner at that. You've not done it before yet. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to feel awkward. You'll sometimes feel like, what the F am I doing? Yeah, I can see people giggling. Like, what am I doing? Who the fuck do I think I am trying this? And this is the moment when most people retreat back to safety. The terror barrier talks about this. That void between where we are and where we choose to be, this period, is when when the old self is going, come back here, this is safe, you know this is easy, you've done it before, come back. There are parts of you going, just come back to this bit. And then you don't have to make mistakes and look like a fool and fall on your face and be a beginner. And this is when we keep coming back to the vision. Like, I'm moving towards this. I've got to fumble a little bit until it becomes easy. When I first started doing these free events, I would finish a session and I would literally not have the energy to take my makeup off before going to bed, which for me is a big deal. Yeah, because for the events I do put a little bit of makeup on. So that pretty few ladies. Literally exhausted. I think I fell asleep in the clothing that I was wearing the first time. Because I was a beginner. It required so much focus and concentration and energy. So, ugh. Now I finish, I'm like, I have so much energy. Practice. I'm going through that void of just like, And it's all about how you hold yourself in the void. Being the beginner and fumbling. And so exponential growth requires you to get comfortable with being a beginner, with being in the void, with getting things wrong, because the people who are X number of steps ahead of you have failed X number of times more than you have. That's literally it. They've fallen on their faces more times than you have. People who you see doing really well, super successful, aren't afraid to fail. They actually enjoy it because there's so much information in failure, and we learn and grow more in failure than we do in success. The more you can do that, you pull the information from your failures, you will grow much faster. And this is a lot about what I teach. It's about holding yourself in the failure, in the beginnership, in the void, and then boom, you're on the other side and massive growth has happened. And you get to the other side of the terror barrier, and this is where you embody, you really embody that next level. And it's normal, it feels safe in your nervous system. Because this is one of the things that they don't tell us when it comes to getting to the next level in anything in life. It won't feel safe in your nervous system at the beginning. At the beginning, you won't necessarily be able to hold it without freaking out. So for those of you, you might have noticed it with love. Meeting somebody and really liking them and being like, oh my, I really like this person. And that beginning phase of do they like me? What's going on? What does that word mean? That text message, they haven't texted me yet. That period of time until it feels safe in your nervous system. And so it's in that period of time teaching your nervous, actually taking responsibility for learning how to feel safe in your nervous system with holding that next level. Because people think it's going to feel safe when they make double the money they're currently making. Unless you know how to program that safety into your nervous system, it will not feel safe. You will freak out more. If you don't currently feel safe with money, making more of it, you will feel less safe. We think that more will make us feel more safe. It doesn't. Yeah. So it's how do we program that safety within ourselves with each next level so that it's normal. And we're just like, this is chill, I'm good, I'm sweet. So when I made in December my highest cash month ever, I was like, cool. There was no like, ah! It's like, cool. Feels safe, it feels normal, it's good. Which means it's so much easier to reproduce. Yeah. More on embodiment, please. Okay, let me go back through. I've missed some of the comments. Bella's saying hi to Lou Diamond, Christine and Malta watching on Facebook. Oh, hello, ladies. Hi. I love there are people on Facebook as well. More on embodiment. I would like to know more about embodiment. Okay, yes, more on embodiment, please. Okay, this is Brene Brown's Act 2. I love Brene Brown. She said something on shame, and Fela, you know, I always forget the exact words, but she talks about shame being shared and how it loses its power. We literally dissolve shame. This is why we do a lot of sharing in the school. You dissolve shame by talking about the things. Yeah. So being able to say, this is currently coming up for me, all of a sudden it dissolves the thing and we can move to the next step. So let's talk more about embodiment. Thank you, Fela, for sharing where to do the homeworks. Have you written a book? Lisa, you must have read my mind. I'm currently writing a book. So I will obviously let you all know when that launches, because we will have a free launch to begin with. You'll be able to get your hands on the book for free for a period of time. Shame lives in secrecy. Yeah. Yes. I can see my screen is jittering. How is the connection for you ladies? Can you give me a thumbs up, thumbs down? Thumbs up, amazing, okay. Next level, Rachel, I love what you shared about basically when success and failure don't unbalance the cart, so on point, this is how to evolve to the next level. Exactly, we spoke about this yesterday, and thank you, Penelope. It is our capacity to hold duality and feel safe holding duality. That you can be afraid of your success and also feel safe in it at the same time. You can be afraid to lean into that next level and also feel safe. Self-mastery is that we can hold both experiences, be non-attached to both, and move from that place. This is when growth and embodiment become a lot faster, because we can really familiarize ourselves. It's the tone, it's the quality of the frequency. So embodiment, let's just cover that. I'll read out Xanthe's first and then we'll cover embodiment quickly. And then I want to talk about one last thing before I mention about the school, and it's the following. So that I remember. So if I forget to do it, ladies, you've got to call me out on this one. And it's to do with shifting your state. Okay, shifting your state. We'll talk about that. Yes, embodiment. I'm all about embodiment and always exploring ways to step, dance into the desired state, even when on a bad day. We'll welcome all suggestions and strategies to add to the repertoire for application every day rather than randomly. Boom, amazing. So I'm going to close the comments so I don't get distracted and keep answering. Let me give you an example so that it's easier to understand. Let's say you go out for a run. Let's say you're feeling a bit low in happiness and you're not feeling super motivated or confident. And you go out for a run and you come back from your run and you're feeling happy. You've got your endorphins flowing. You're excited. You're motivated. You're like, yeah, let's do this. And for a period of time after your run, you're embodying or you're holding the frequency, not embodying, you're holding the frequency of happiness, confidence, and motivation. That isn't embodiment. You're holding the frequency of it. So we have these practices, breath work, yoga, tantric things, exercise, masturbation, self-pleasure, spa days, we have all of these practices that familiarize ourselves with the quality of what we want to embody, the quality of the experience of what we want to make normal for ourselves. But the tool itself, all it does is it familiarizes you with that state and maybe helps you shift some traumas and move through things. And yeah, embodiment is when that becomes our dominant state of being, and anything other than that, happiness, confidence, motivation, is abnormal from our dominant state of being. So embodiment is when your paradigms, and I'm going to explain paradigms in a minute, when your paradigms are in alignment with what you wish to embody. So let's say you want to triple your income and live in queenship. You want to be, I'm super confident, I believe in myself, I don't look to external sources. Let's say that's what you're embodying. Your belief systems, everything that you think, is in alignment with that. Every thought that you have around who you are, your role in this world, reality outside of yourself, is in alignment with believing in yourself, is in alignment with your success. Your success makes complete logical sense to you. Being confident in who you are makes logical sense. You're not doubting it. You're not in and out of it. It just makes logical sense, and you hold it. And it's not just, it's to do with the structures of your brain. So we do this in the school. It's a lot of programming of the structures of the brain so that you think as a confident person. You think as a wealthy person. You understand yourself and reality as that. So your thought forms and then your automated nervous system response both work together. So let's say you're making a big payment to invest in somebody doing your webpage. Let's say it costs €10,000 or £10,000. And that's a very nice webpage. 10 grand, boom, and you pay in full. When you are confident in your wealth and your success, your automated nervous system response is entirely neutral. You're not like, actually, when you make that payment, you're like, yes, 10 grand, because I am a woman who easily makes that money. I choose to walk the path and the frequency of, that's normal for me. Yeah, sweet. I'm excited to pay 10 grand. I love that I get to pay 10 grand. I love that I get to pay it in full. And that is your normal thoughts. And so in your nervous system, it feels so safe to spend that money. That is the embodiment of wealth. Because each time you're spending, your automated nervous system response is just chill. Same with your confidence. Somebody comes up to you and says, I just took a class with you and it was shit. When you really embody confidence and belief in yourself, you're not looking to external evidence. When they say that, you're like, I appreciate that that's your opinion. Okay, cool. Nervous system, zero fight or flight, nothing, because you embody confidence. So this is what we mean, is that external things don't determine your internal state, because you've created it and it's solid. And so your nervous system, because this is when it really goes down into subconscious. It's not conscious thought, I believe in myself, it's subconscious. Automated response in nervous system is like, I am safe. I am worthy. I am wealthy. My life is amazing. Life is beautiful. It's just your normal. And then you build from there. Now, this is what I mean by embodiment. So this is something that happens through, I mean, it happens quite fast with the systems that we work with in the school. And this kind of leads into, so I'm going to start sharing a little bit about the school, but I want to share the last point first as well, before I fully go into it. But this is a lot to do with the systems that we work with in the school, as you do not need to be in the process for a long period of time, because we shift the thought forms, the paradigm, so your ways of seeing reality in yourself fast, and then we create an automated nervous system response to the new belief systems that you've programmed in. So very quickly, you think, feel, act, and move as the thing that you've chosen to program in. And it's not like some weird pseudoscience. It is quite simple. And it's being in an arena where you get to do the things, be held as the fears come up. That's literally what it is. And then it moves it a lot faster than if you're doing it on your own, for example. And just to finish that thought, the school is a space for women who are wanting to be held as you step into your next level of greatness. It is women who have chosen greatness. Women who are choosing to be in spaces and containers where greatness is normalized. And it's a conversation of, what does greatness truly mean? It means the integration of shadow, the acceptance and the compassion towards shadow, the integration of our humanity, of our imperfections and our beauty, and the beauty and imperfections, honestly. So where that is totally normalized for you. And the frequency in the container, like the school, and there are others. So if you don't resonate with how I teach, or you're not vibing with, not everybody has to like me, and I'm absolutely okay with that. I invite you to find a container that does vibe for you, because it is a lot to do with that you love listening to the person who's teaching, because just by listening to them, they get you into a state, which now shifts us onto this. I chose teachers, coaches, and mentors throughout my lifetime, from the beginning of my healing journey, who get me into the state. Because state shifting in real time is what makes a profound difference. We think that an emotion, it can go through a cycle. Some emotions want to go through a full cycle so we can release them, but we don't need to be in the cycle of emotions all the time. Self-mastery is when you get to the point that you acknowledge you can create your emotional state. You can shift it really fast. How do you do that? Having somebody in your ear. Having someone else who can remind you who you are. Because we forget. We forget who we are, we forget why we're here, we forget how powerful we are, we forget that we're already a queen. And having someone there just shifting. So I find, even if I'm not in a state I don't wish to be in, I have something in my ear on a regular basis, and I take full rests from this as well. This is super important. Rest is important for full integration. So you're just listening to your own voice as well. So we have an integration week every month. Every month we have 1 week where I'm not in your ear, so that you can be the voice in your head and you can see and hear and feel all the things. And then we come back. Yeah. So whether you're like, yeah, vibe with you, love it, or you're doing it of your own accord or in another space, it's having those periods for integration where you're purely allowing the things to come up and through and heal and see and feel and explore and curiosity. And then you have that person there with you, shifting your state. Every time you find yourself going into oblivion or into frustration or into sadness or into anxiety, shifting state. And this is when the healing really speeds up. Yeah. So let me leave you with this point, and then if you have questions, please do drop them in the chat, and then I will go through just momentarily the prices so that they can land for you. For some of you that you'd be like, oh, that's sweet, that price is normal. For others, you're like, oh, that's a stretch. And it's good. I like you to just let the prices land as well. Because this is all about money frequency, right? And getting comfortable with different levels. And a conversation we've been having in the school is the following. My desire is that the stretchy investment for the school becomes so normal for you that you can begin to make that money in a month, in a week, in a day, in an hour. So what at one point is a stretch for you then becomes your normal in 1 hour of work. So how do we normalize greater amounts? We also allow ourselves to see the value of investing more, because then the people that we attract, we can hold them at a higher space of money investment. So if you have a client come to you and you're like, right, let's work together for a whole year, and it's going to be this numbers of thousands. For you, you're then, I know it's worth it because I've done it, I've experienced it, I value it. So I can then, through my own embodiment, hold you to that level. Yeah. So shifting state, having ways of being able to shift your state in real time so you can come back to that frequency of abundance and trust in what you're doing is what's going to allow you to move through the obstacles really quickly. Yeah, so as you're going through the terror barrier, finding ways to shift your state. How do you do this? To remember that you can believe in yourself. Okay, we've gone through a lot today. We always do. Yes to holding duality. Thank you for naming that, Rachel, and leading us. How to be quantum in a dualistic world. So some beautiful teaching points from here. And for some of you, this is going to really land. Okay, Osra, darling, I will see you in the school, darling. Yeah. Oh no, Tuesday first. How to be quantum in a dualistic world. We have come here. This may not resonate for you, it may. For those of you who it does, it's a beautiful message. We have come down here to perceive that limitation exists, so that through that we can have experience. Without the perception of limitation, experience could not exist. Yeah? Limitation is a story. Can you now begin to play? I'll say it again. Play in the field of possibility, knowing that limitation is just a story. Let's go look at it through quantum physics. We think that a glass is solid, and because of that, it contains liquid that we can drink. When we know through quantum physics that a glass isn't actually solid. Yeah. For those of you who watch The Matrix, this all makes sense. You know, the bending of the spoon, remember, because you are the spoon. Yeah, it's literally that we think that we're separate. We believe we're separate. We believe things are solid. We believe money is limited. We have lots of beliefs, and that allows us to have experiences. They are only beliefs. They are not ultimate truths. When we can see this and bring those unconscious beliefs to conscious mind and shift them, we can then bend our reality to our liking, just like the spoon in the Matrix. It's all about bringing the unconscious to conscious. And this is one of my zones of genius, being able to bring those unconscious things to your conscious mind so you can shift them really fast. To be the mirror for you to see those parts of yourself that you're not currently seeing. And then it's for you to then say, right, I want to shift it, I want to shift it, I want to shift it. I'm ready, let's do this, let's do this. Yeah. Did that then make sense? Do I need to go deeper on that? If so, I can do that on Tuesday, because I feel we've gone through a lot today. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent, is a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. Yes, love that quote. Beautiful. The former First Lady of the US, one of the most admired women of the 20th century. Eleanor clearly understood and practiced self-leadership, because she also said the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility. Okay, so Tracy had to head off. Okay, amazing, Jays. Beautiful. Excited for that. Yes, it made sense. I like the framing that limitation is a choice. So for those of you who, like me, love to be deep into study, like understanding the human experience and the universe and all of those things. If you're like me and you look to the stars and you're like, fuck me, look at where we're living. When it's a really clear night and you can see layer after layer upon layer of stars and then planets, and it's mind-blowing where we live. When it comes to understanding limitation, and limitation being a choice, the book Sapiens really helps us to understand the origins of our creation of stories to understand ourselves in reality. So if you've read Sapiens, I also invite you to look at it through that lens, because there is a chapter where he talks about how we form societies because we're capable of creating stories. And that's why we were the dominating, was it the Homo sapiens and the other ones? I can't remember. We the ones that dominated because we could band together in bigger groups because we create stories. But stories aren't truths, they're only stories. Okay, so let's summarize. Main things from today. Day 1 was about high frequency commitment and long term. Day 2 was understanding what truly, like actual problem awareness to get you to your next level. It's about understanding the thought forms of the next level of success and then embodying that so it becomes the structure of your brain and an automated response in your nervous system. Yeah, so it feels safe within you. This is how we really get to make it normal. Tuesday's going to be war. And it's good you've got a couple of days to let this land. Glass ceiling as a liquid and a solid, yes, a fantastic example of non-dualistic existence, that we can more than what we see, or we can be more than what we see, if that's right. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and wisdom, Rachel. Wish you amazing. Okay, loves, beautiful. So let me leave you with this. We will talk more about the school on Tuesday and then the sharing session on Thursday, and then we'll do an extra session as well. Some of you will just want to talk with me directly about it, and you don't have to wait to get the information. Just reach out, ask questions. Yeah. We've got landing pages with the information, with how we work. Everything is done in a very feminine cycle. There are many reasons we work with women only, partly because we're working with the female cycle and being able to flow with the flow. Whether or not you all continue to have a cycle or not, this is relevant. We do a format. We've created a new format this year that means you can plug and play with such ease of use that I can be in your ear whenever you need me to be with the subject matter that you want to be focusing on that day. Yeah, we have made it so simple and easy. We've been running the school full-time for 2 years now, and this is the year that we've really upped our game to make it so easy for you to tap into it. So you've got the community of like-minded women where we all work together. You get to learn about their businesses. You get to learn about their healing practices. So you're not just learning from me, you're learning from each other. And the conversations that we have are around normalizing much more than you're currently making, and normalizing levels of personal power and confidence that are even higher than you're currently at. That it just becomes so normal for you. Yeah. We have 3 levels of entry because I'm currently not taking on one-on-one. Okay, I'm only working with my current clients. 3 levels of entry. You can do purely personal development. We call it awakening. It's awakening to your next level of confidence and belief in yourself. Level 2, I'm going to go through it fast and just let this land. We'll talk more about it on another day. Level 1 is all about the personal work. Level 2 is about business, high frequency business for heart-led entrepreneurs. So it's about mindset, frequency, spiritual practices, and strategy. My zone of genius is I can look at your business and I can look at your stories. I can hear you speak for 5 minutes and I can hear exactly what psychologically is getting in your way. And I'm like, and I can see the holes in the mindset, but also in the business. Where are the money leaks? Where are the energy leaks? I'm really good at being able to quickly get you on board to getting more success. Yeah. So another zone of genius is I've done all of the things around messaging, emails, marketing, sales, because I'm a geek and I like to learn all of the things. I want to know all of the things in my business. So you don't have to go to 1,000 different people to teach you all of the bits. You get all of it in one place. Do I need to share anything else with you? The certification is for those of you who are already helping others and you want to learn what it is to be a master coach and a spiritual mentor, holding space at a high level, what that actually means, how you structure sessions, how you structure journeys, but also how you show up as a clear container so that you're very solid and you're not projecting. So you can really show up for your clients and really be in your power when you show up for them. So the cert is all about becoming a master coach. So not low-level coaching, not average level coaching, master coach, what that means. Okay, I think we've shared everything. Prices are, we're currently doing, and we will do this up until the end of this month, 50% off our full prices. We're in third phase of our launches, yeah? So we had phase 1, phase 2, we're now in phase 3. So it's 50% discount until the end of this month. So you can join us in the Awakening membership instead of 3,000 for a whole year in euros, 3,000 euros for a year, which really in the grand scheme of things is nothing. Yeah. If you think of 3,000 euros and how it can change your life for the rest of your life. And I want you to normalize making that in an hour, if you're not currently, is at 50% off. So it's 1.5. To join us for the business, it includes the Awakening and the business, both together. Full price is 6,000 euros. So it's half price, which is 3,000. You thought 3K was the 50% off. There you go. Once we've got these memberships up and running, because we've shifted the way we're doing things, the prices will increase. So it won't stay at 6,000 for long. Yeah, so we're getting a solid foundation of who's in the space, and then the prices will increase. So 1.5 at the 50% for the Awakening, 3,000 euros for the 50% off for the school, for the business school. The certification is 9,000 full price, so 4,500 for 50%. I know I've thrown a lot of information at you, but it's initially, some of you will be like, yeah, let's do this straight away. If that's the case, reach out for the links. If you want to chat and ask questions, you can do that. And we will give more information over the coming days. Yeah. I don't usually sell so quickly. One last thing to share with you before we sign off. Selling is a lot of fun. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful when we really know the value of what we do. And we can have a really juicy, honest, raw conversation with people when it comes to sales. We can be super comfortable doing it. It's fantastic for the people who are ready to sign up with us as well. I don't know who needed to hear that, whoever it was. Yes, all of those prices quoted are for 1 full year, 12 full months. Thank you, Rachel. This is insane. Yes, they're really, really good prices. I've been on a lot of other containers, and for what you're offering, the quality of these containers is crazy. Yeah. So would that price stay consistent if I bought at the end of the month? Yes. Yeah. Whatever you lock in, then you stay at that price for the full year. You're not going to then pay more. Yeah, so even if you're on a monthly package, we won't then increase the prices. And so we do offers in a time frame, not to encourage, like not to like push you to sign up. It's to empower those who are ready to make the decision. Yeah. So because it's so easy for us to procrastinate on things, yeah, I'll sign up, and then we don't do it. Can we get that written down somewhere? Yes, I didn't catch everything. The contents of the packages, of course. Would be great if the 3 prices at discount were copied and pasted onto the chat. The certification does include all levels, yes. So the personal development is level 1. The business is level 2, so it includes both. The certification is level 3, so it includes all 3. Those who want to go for one-on-one in the future, when I open it up, we create a custom-made package. So we decide if you want to add in bits. Yeah. Okay, thanks for that. Just do it if you're thinking about this. Oh, Quinny, darling, leaning in, then I recommend you do it. Best commitment and investment I've ever made in myself. Thank you for that, Quinny. Can I pay now, take up when I'm available to do this? Ooh. Let's chat in the DMs, Jays, and I'll find out what the bits are for you and when you're thinking, and then we'll go from there. Amazing. Kim saying, I'm already in the school after several free sessions and love the first lessons already. See you tomorrow. Thank you for the insights. What does the time commitment within that year look like? Oh, ladies are great questions. So for those of you who have got questions and want to stay in, fantastic. I will do a Q&A purely based on the school as well, but let's cover some of them now, okay? And for those of you who have to shoot off, do not worry. We will meet again on Tuesday. So the time commitment, we used to do 3 sessions a week, 3 weeks a month with 1 week off. And then we realized that as business owners, we're busy. So we want to give you high level touch, intimacy with myself, with Phelan, with the other women, whilst also having time freedom. So what that looks like is we have 1 session for each of the 3 levels, and then we have 2 sharing sessions, which you can be on or not. Everything else in between is I am giving you consistent audio trainings in real time based on what you are experiencing. So someone will come to me and say, this is currently coming up for me in my business, and bam, I'll give you a training on it in real time. Yeah, so we get to plot holes fast. The live sessions are really about momentum and excitement and learning, inspiration and community. And then the audios are about those quick 5, 10, 15-minute things that help you to see all of the holes that you can be plugging or mindset shifts you want to have. Okay. The main thing is this, because we can ask questions about time commitment and we can, make a decision based on that. And my invitation is the following. When we choose the outcome for ourselves, we will make it work. So when we choose the outcome for ourselves, whatever the commitments are, we make it work. Yeah. Thank you, lovely session. Apologies, I need to shoot off now. Thank you for today. Oh yes, I'm busy, working full-time and currently training full on to become a Tantra facilitator. Amazing. An advanced ADH coach. Beautiful, Jays. So, ladies, let's sign off for today. I'm going to stop the recording.